What a sweet day.
That's me. This is whiskey. He's like, what's
It's
up, man?
okay. Not much, man. Good to see you back up and alive from the dead.
Yeah,
Um,
I got my Theraflu. I got the changing of the seasons, and I drop like a fly, dude. So I
it's not even like
apologize
it's.
for my
We live in
absence.
Florida. It doesn't even change seasons like that.
Any drop in temperature more than 10 degrees, I'm out. It's like, oh, okay.
Touche.
And the wind's
Yeah, no.
been blowing pretty cold after that hurricane.
Yeah, I was just about to say that after that hurricane, everything kind of went haywire.
Yeah.
And then Florida said, "No, I'm hot. I'm still hot. I can still get hot."
So what you do, man?
Not much, man. You know what I was doing last night? I was watching something um very extreme.
Ah,
Very
that's a
very
coincidence.
live.
It's a coincidence. I was watching something very extreme about 15 feet away from you. Yeah.
we, we were together on this one.
Yeah.
But
Man.
before we jump into what we were watching, guys, I do want you guys to make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on our Instagram and our Twitter pages. If you guys have any questions, any comments, anything you want to talk about, we love to continue talking about it. We're very active there. Please, guys, join us there. But what we were watching, Ravi, was definitely one for the books, one for the
I,
ages in this.
you know, I am very, very happy with the direction that Triple H and Stephanie and Triple H gets like the helm of
The
it
hell
because
of yeah.
he is head of creative and whatnot. But with Stephanie and Nick Khan and the business part of it too. But we were watching WWE Extreme Rules live from Philadelphia, and it's just I think this is the first pay per view since the new office kind of took control, creative and business wise, because SummerSlam didn't really count. It was like it was already put together, and they kind of tweaked
Yeah.
things a little bit here and there. But with Extreme Rules, it was the show. This is it. There's no Vince tied to it. You could still see that Kevin Dunn has like Tourette's when it comes to the camera angles. But they're just like, oh, boom, 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 boom. But we're gonna deep dive into our thoughts and the breakdown of this. But Extreme Rules was extreme. It was exactly what it's supposed to be. It was shades of ECW a little bit there, and I'm glad that they did it in Philadelphia to kind of kickstart this new field, a new business motive of WWE. It was a
Yes.
fantastic show.
It was beautiful. It was magical the whole through the whole way. I think the storytelling was exactly what it needed to be. The wrestlers gave one hell of a match. And
150.
to be completely fair, that first match that they did,
Oh yes, the
the Brawling
Donnybrook
Brutes, yeah, them and Imperium.
Imperium.
What a freaking banger!
It started off bad. Like it was just like what the hell? Like they
They went
didn't
on
waste
balls to
any
the
time.
wall in that first match, man.
I love how there was shillelaghs, which is like it was like an Irish or Scottish walking stick. It could be used as a weapon most
Hmm.
of the time. Anything could be used as a weapon in Ireland
Yeah.
and Scotland. But
Well, then again, in
and
Sheamus's hand, everything is a weapon.
everything else. They had barrels of Scotch whiskey. They had barrels of it said Scotch whiskey, and then they had a bar. They were jumping through tables. They were putting people through tables, hitting
It
each
was.
other, slapping each other, beating the crap out of it. Oh man, it was amazing.
I loved it. Every minute of it was awesome because they actually were, I mean, just wailing on each other, just exactly what we thought they were gonna do.
Yeah.
And then they finally get Sheamus to hit the his 10 beats of the Balor and put the hands on with I almost said Walter, but
Walter Gunther.
Gunther.
He's, it's funny that you mentioned that because I had a friend of ours, Monty, who mentioned that, and he was like, Walter is the bigger, heavier set NXT guy. This new lean Supreme Imperium, that's Gunther. It's
Yeah.
it's a huge character change, even though it's the same character.
Yeah,
But
it almost it changed his swagger a little bit too. Like
yeah,
it's the same, wrestler we saw as Walter and with Imperium in NXT and NXT
yeah,
UK, but seeing
mhm.
him now as Gunther, it's the same almost look, but with a different type of, I don't know.
Energy.
Yeah,
It's a very different energy.
but those chops don't change. Those
No,
chops,
they got heavier.
yeah, I feel like he hits you and your great 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 grandchildren still feel them 20 years after. That
It's
man
pretty
hits
cool, man.
you and walls fall down. I think he was the reason why the Berlin Wall actually fell. It was just his hand.
He just chopped the wall.
One shot. Bam.
Yeah, man, fantastic match. I like how they still had a story arc with Gunther and Sheamus. Gave Sheamus the win this time around. It showed that it is not the end of him chasing the IC title
No,
as
perfect.
well.
And as he shouldn't stop it. I think this is going to be a good rivalry to keep pushing up into what we have Crown Jewel next. And then after Crown Jewel, it is,
Survivor Series, I believe.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes, the War Games.
yeah. It's
So
Survivor Series War Games. So, yeah, we did get WWE main. The main roster is just NXT Black and White, and then we have NXT Black and White or Black, White, and Gold down there, and
it
the
works. It's
what was
working right now.
2.0. It's good. I love it.
It's
I
not
love the direction.
3.0.
Yeah, 3.6 or something. It's starting to turn into
It's
a
like
GPA.
it's turning into an iOS format. It's iOS.
Revamp it every year.
Every season, every new season that they're doing. The
Yeah.
season premiere of Raw is this Monday, so it's
Ah,
going to be a,
yes.
a new season for NXT 4.9.
Speaking of growth, I want to talk about our next matches on the card. And this me to me personally, I think any of the matches on this card could have main evented the the entire
Yeah,
event. But this match, when it comes to Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey, man, it was fantastic. They've been building up Liv Morgan as this underdog champion and trying to like crack her out of her old shell and trying to build her up as much as they can as a top contender. And they've been doing a really good job at that. Um, Facing Ronda Rousey, baddest woman on the planet, it's like it's a really good test for her because it shows exactly where she can go, how hard she's willing to fight, and that she's not like this old Liv Morgan anymore. Watch
which
me.
it's good to
This
see
is what you
that. My
see.
only issue is that leading into this match,
Hmm.
leading into this feud that they started with her, um, I wasn't I wasn't fully sold. I know a lot of wrestling fans are gonna probably agree with this, that her acting into this or her push for this, it didn't look real.
Hmm.
A lot of the time she was very forcing it and you could see it.
Hmm.
And I think this feud brought something out of Liv. She's not been a terrible champion. There's been worse. It's been far worse. But we've seen it just didn't feel like, okay, you got to the title. What are you gonna do now? What's next for you? And I don't think she really found that niche for her fully. She was finding it as her on her chase, and now that
Hmm.
she has it, is like, what do you do next with it? This is where most wrestlers
Hmm.
take that next step, and their promos change, their demeanor changes a little bit because now you're the champ. All eyes
Hmm.
are on you.
Hmm.
And I didn't feel like she really got there fully. I would see some of her matches that she did, some of the promos, and I'm like, it just looks like you're just whining.
Yeah.
And we're trying to take you seriously. We really are, but it's like you haven't really sold us on it.
I.
This match here finally did that for me. It's like,
Mhm.
okay, I take you seriously.
And that's the thing I was gonna say is that this isn't even the end of this feud. This is a halfway point for Liv Morgan's growth. Because remember, like even with Becky Lynch, they were trying to like grow her steadily, but it was a mistake that made her the man, and then that kick started her into who she is now. That
Yep.
elbow, from Nia Jax, that elbow to the face, bloody nose, and being in the crowd, and concussion, and this, that made her the man, and that was a mistake. So, with no mistakes happening here with Liv Morgan, you see the growth that they were trying to do with Becky Lynch, which is a long term growth, and that's what we've been longing for with WWE is long term booking, growing your characters. What's excuse me, what's gonna happen next? What's the same time you have the White Rabbit things that are just kind of like penciling in here and there, one little thing, a QR code here and there, da 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 da. But you see that the writers are being acknowledged.
Yeah.
It's not just, oh, I don't like it anymore. I'm going to rewrite the whole show an hour or two before we go live, and it doesn't make any sense. And then 2 weeks later, it's not even related to what we started with. This
And would you
is
know what? I think with this regime,
good
they've done
smarts.
that. I think they've committed. It's like, okay, we wrote this storyline. Let's
Mm,
finish the storyline. If it sucks, it sucks. If it's great, it's great. We'll figure it out 2 months in, a month in, and see what
right.
the fans say. Versus saying, oh, let's start this. Oh, I don't really didn't like what I wrote, but you've
Yeah,
already put it on the air.
you
What are
already
you
put it
gonna
there.
do with it now?
Yeah, so next week, fix it. Don't just drop it because he had a little bit speed bump, and that's why I love with Liv Morgan. Like you're gonna see a brand new Liv Morgan come Monday because we have the season premiere, and then which was funny to me. I thought the season was the day after WrestleMania, and that's
No,
how it went. I was highly mistaken with that.
yeah,
It's
it's
like
so weird.
the season.
I think when Raw
It's
jumped as a
yeah,
lot like on the air, it was like around this time frame,
yeah.
back in like the mid to late 90s when it
Mhm.
started. So when it became Raw, it was as of like this money that's coming.
Oh, okay. But she's even better because now we're gearing up for the end of the year. We're gearing up for Survivor Series. That means we'll jump to January where with
Which is the Royal
Royal Rumble,
Rumble.
and then it's full speed ahead to like March, April when it
I think
comes.
this year lands in April, if I'm
Yeah,
correct.
yeah. They usually change it around.
Well, I think
They,
it's just the way the calendar falls.
mhm,
They have to
yeah.
kind of maneuver it because I've seen it land on April 1st. I've seen it land on March 25th, and then I've seen it also land on like April's like 8th or something like that, or
Hmm.
15th. It just depends on how it lands on the calendar.
Yeah, and now they're doing 2 days, so
They love this 2 day thing. It works.
it's beautiful.
You
It
can literally take
maximizes
over a
profit.
whole weekend.
Yeah, because you have the what you call the Legends ceremony, the induction Hall of Fame thing,
Hmm.
and then you have all this expo stuff and da 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 da. Plus, you got 2 days of WrestleMania. That means two times the ticket sales. It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
And you can honestly really put in all these matches that people have been wanting to see. And if WrestleMania is your Super Bowl, you treat it as such, and now you can literally finalize any big storyline that you are going to go into this mania, and you just start off the next Monday like
Yeah,
fresh.
super fresh, super super. But to Liv Morgan and Ronda Rousey, great match. Ronda Rousey was definitely a superior. She put on a show when it comes to her jiu-jitsu background. She could have ended this in like 15 seconds, but just TV. I love she came out with a pink gi, which is what she used to wear amateurly before she got
Yes,
into UFC. And I was like, oh, she means business. Okay, she's gonna.
she's
And
come
I
for
was like,
blood.
she's gonna choke Liv Morgan the f out, and that's exactly what she did.
You
But
know
to get
what?
the win and win the title, which is
Yes, and
awesome.
what makes her a two-time champion again, or
Mm,
three-time, I
I
think,
think it's 3 times.
three-time.
Yeah.
Um, one thing about this match I really loved was the storytelling between both women's, because
Mm.
both women you can kind of see a very different style.
Oh yeah.
Liv Morgan's the speedy girl, quick hit, run, hit, run, hit, run. Seeing Ronda Rousey in her style, very grapple, ground and pound. So it's perfect to see those type of styles clash, and in an Extreme Rules match, you
Hmm.
did see where you did see where there were some issues because this is the first time I've seen a women or maybe second or third time we've done a women's Extreme Rules match,
Hmm.
and you can see where it takes a step back on it because it's harder for the women to do. For the guys, we sell a hit with a kendo stick, a
Right.
hit with a chair. It
I
looks
think,
different. It looks more fluent. When a
yeah,
woman does it, it doesn't look as fluent as they do because I think they try to up the ante. Oh well, the guys are throwing themselves through chairs. Let's go through tables and a chair. Let's they're
yeah,
let's add
it
in this
has to.
bat. Let's have a fan hold my leg. I'm gonna flip, grab you by the head, and put you through a table. They always do some extra stuff to it. So
Yeah,
I think that
which
this match.
I appreciate because the women do have to work a little harder. I think under Triple H and especially Stephanie overseeing the women's division now, I think it's going to be. I think Brandy has something to do with her. She's just a wrestler. I don't know what's going
I
on
don't know what Brandy's
backstage.
role is on the whole
Yeah,
backstage. If she has a back role in the
Brandy Rose.
backstage,
Yeah,
um,
but I like the direction. It's like, look, this is not the Divas era anymore. You could this is a new era. This is not like the prim prissy everything is gonna be. You have to tune in to some of these, or if all of these women's matches, because you're gonna miss out. And they showcased that tonight,
yeah,
last night. Sorry, because if you missed Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey, you missed out. If you we're gonna get to Bailey versus Bianca. Oh my God,
yeah. That let's
ladies.
not touch that one just yet. Let's hold on that one.
Yeah,
That
you got a
was
lot
that
to say
match.
about that one,
Yeah,
man. All right, well,
but
congratulations to Ronda Rousey on a new win and the championship. But I this is definitely the halfway point for Liv Morgan. We're gonna
yeah, I
see a
think
brand new Liv Morgan come Monday
I'm thinking because I'm trying to think of the next couple of pay per views that are coming up. I think, like you
night.
said, Crown Jewel's coming. I
Hmm.
think there's one more in between that and Survivor Series,
Yeah,
but I'm
I
not
feel
100%.
I feel like Crown Jewel's like a throwaway, but you never know because
Well, I
those
think Triple
treated
H is
like
gonna
a throw.
treat it as a storyline esque
Hmm.
championship, so I wouldn't be surprised. But I don't think the women really go to this one. I think they've done it once. It worked. It
Yeah,
was
once or
great.
twice. Yeah.
Um, I think the women that they chose to were smart about it. They covered
Yes.
up and everything, so it was
Very respectful
respectful.
to the to the,
Um,
to the
I
lifestyle.
just don't know if they'll do it again with this match. But I mean, hey, let's see. But
Mm.
I do want to talk about though this next match was
Hmm.
interesting because I love both characters,
Hmm.
but Drew McIntyre and Karrion Cross.
Yes.
This is this was good. This is actual Karrion's first actual match
Mm.
against a good competitor because he had like 5 squash matches. He think he's done since he came back.
Right.
Um, so this was good to see him in the actual ring again, fighting a good competitor of his caliber, equal or better. Um, it was an interesting match to do a strap match though. I think that was the only thing I was a little about was the strap
Mm.
match. I
I
do
think that
I
was just
like
a Extreme Rules thing. They were just like, oh, look at this that we haven't used in a decade.
yeah, like they always bring it back on like random times, especially because they're in Philly and Extreme Rules and oh
Exactly.
let's bring back this random match that Terry Funk made famous. Um but it's not a bad match. It's I think they've changed the rules of the match so many times. It's hard
Mm.
to really follow it
Yeah.
sometimes.
I think this one it was just pure. It was just it's a strap match. They're gonna beat the crap out of each other. You don't have to touch the turnbuckles. You don't have to grab a flag.
Yeah,
You
and
don't
I
have to do
said
anything.
that last night while we were watching it. I was like, man, I remember the strap match because I remember a very good match with Bradshaw back in the day.
Yes.
And it was a strap match, and he was they had to tap all 4 corners, and you would see tapping 4 corners, and then they'll find a way to break it, and then you got to untap the what he did, and then tap your 4 corners.
Hmm.
And it was entertaining, but it was just something about it. Like I obviously, I guess it's hard to say you um and somebody said this last night while we were watching with us. It's hard to tell a story of how many times I can stop you from hitting all 4 corners
Yeah.
and making it a good match.
Yeah.
Um, so that way I kind of understand it, but I just feel like the strap match
Took
could
him
be
around too long.
yeah, it ran too long. It would that the road matches ran way too long. But I think there's a better way to tell a story with this strap match. I don't
Mm.
think they. It wasn't a terrible match. I think it really
No,
good. I
no, it
think it
was
did
fantastic.
exactly what it needed to do.
Yeah, and it
Get
was
Carrion.
build Karrion Cross
Yep,
as a
it was to
number
get
one contender.
Carrion, get Carrion in the ring against a former champion, two-time
Mhm.
champion, and show how he can just fight. And
Yeah.
then and having Scarlett in his corner showed that
Mhm.
additional image of her. She is not a wrestler by any means, but is
Mm.
a really good person on the side. She has
Mm.
great promo skills. She could talk.
Very good,
I
very
think she's done a great job in being
good.
his not just his valet, but
Mm.
almost that manager that gets involved. And her jumping in with the pepper spray at the end of it,
Yes.
beautiful.
She unloaded that can of pepper spray in his eyes, man. He
Whether it
was
was
already
pepper
on
spray or
full.
water, I tell you right now, that looked like that
Even
hurt
water
me.
hurts. Even water to the eye hurts. Sometimes burns, mixes with the oil, gets in the eyes. Ugh,
Oh man, it
hurts.
was perfect. I think that whole storyline of it was perfect.
Yeah, but they
I
beat
did
the
want it.
crap out of each other in this. They were just slapping each other in the face at
Oh my
one
god, I
point. I
know they
was like,
got
what
welts.
now?
They got welts all over their bodies right now.
Hmm.
I think also with that, I love the way it ended because of the fact that beat. She was the reason why he lost. McIntyre. It tells a better story because okay, you can't beat me cleanly. You can only beat me with cheating. A,
Yeah,
B. It also made McIntyre not have to tap.
right.
It also allowed McIntyre to take the L while still giving prominence to Carrion. It still respects the character that you have with McIntyre.
It's like lose without losing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
it's
like, okay,
genius.
you lost this match,
There's only certain ways
but
that
they
you can
cheated.
pull that off, and they did a great job.
And what's funny? Back in the day, I think Vince did a great job with doing those type of matches where they would cheat and it would make a. But last couple of years, I felt like he lost it with those type of cheating moves.
Mm.
Um, and then he would make
It was always the same.
the yeah, it would always be the same way of losing, and then when they would lose, it would almost demean the character that you just built. So I think right now, watching what they did with this match, it was beautiful. It tells a great story. This match is far from over. These two are going to continue going, and I feel like this will definitely lead into a Survivor Series pay per view match,
Mm.
where they'll end it there.
I feel so. I feel so. There's a lot of these storylines, especially that we didn't even need the Bloodline or Roman Reigns in the title match this
Yeah,
time around, and it was a fantastic pay per view. So they're gearing you and they're priming the audience for the absence of that. And that's very respectful and that's very smart too, because you're building these other characters. Like, look, Roman is bigger than life. He's on God mode right now. But
God.
look at Karrion Cross. Look at this. Look at the new going forward. Look at
He's not
look.
wearing that stupid Spartan armor. He's not coming out with this weird, stupid gimmick. Just
Yeah,
fucking go out there, be
it's
carrying
just
cross,
him
and
and
choke
his wife.
somebody out.
It's just him and his wife. TikTok. Easy. Simple.
Yeah,
This is creative
it's an
control.
hourglass. They don't go TikTok.
He does because he's crazy. So everything goes TikTok for him.
He's hearing
So,
TikTok, TikTok, TikTok,
yeah,
TikTok.
it's like that's sand, bro. Just leave him before he chokes me. I don't want to get choked out.
he look at you with TikTok.
Nope, it's
Like
whatever
a
you want,
Pokemon.
dude. You can sound like a chicken for all I care. It's just don't touch me.
just don't hug me, okay? Please don't hug me.
Yes, this match put Carrie crossover beautifully. I can't wait to see what's going on. Scarlett looked amazing. Her outfit was awesome. She did her interference with the win of the match. It was brilliant. Loved it. Can't wait to see
Can we
what's
talk about that entrance really quick before we do anything else? Karrion Cross's entrance, I've always loved it
it's
when
always
he
bad.
debuted it in NXT. It was a
Mhm.
badass entrance then. It is a even badder entrance
On a
now.
grand scale. On the
Yes.
main roster grand scale, bigger entrance, longer ramp, it's even better. And I didn't think that was possible.
So and you want to know what's weird too? So and I I kind of saw. I don't know if you saw it. So when he came out, remember there was like a druid in the middle of the ramp
Okay.
that they walked around and
Mm.
they started doing her thing.
Yes.
Uh, that druid, I don't know. We're talking about the White Rabbit. and all these rumors that Karrion Cross kind of resembles some of the one of the characters
Yeah.
of Bray Wyatt's Funhouse,
Right.
the Firefly Funhouse. I kind of felt like that was another sign.
Well, he what was it? I think it was Lucha Underground. His character was a white rabbit, the White Rabbit, or something like that.
Yeah, he was the White Rabbit, Killer Cross, something like that.
Yeah. So I don't know what they're doing, but it's gonna be fantastic. But we'll get
I'm
there
Yeah,
later.
we definitely got to see it build up here.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Moving on to the next match.
Go ahead.
My personal favorite of the night was Bianca Belair versus Bailey. Ladder match for the Raw Women's Championship. It's red, so duh. The Raw Women's Championship. I have to admit, when I first saw the character of Bianca Belair, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I was like, here goes Vince. Like, it's not to get like that, because I'm never like that. You know me personally for like 15, 16 years. Like, it was just like this generic black girl, kind of ghetto, long hair, weave, this and the other. I was just like, what is going on here? Like, what is? And then he didn't crack that potential for her.
No, he
But then
didn't definitely.
Triple H saw something in her and was like, I could take this character without changing it, but I'll change the personality of it. You still keep it, still keep the song, still keep the hair, keeps it this, but we're gonna add something to it. Your personality, Bianca Belair's personality, naturally, and it worked. She didn't have to be this attitude and this. She's just
She still
wholesome,
gives it without having to be so almost ratchet about it. Like
ratchet. It
she
doesn't
kind of,
have to have a ratchet feel to it,
yeah,
and
she kind of
has
does that little swagger to it a little bit, but it's nothing like, oh my
it
gosh,
comes
she's
off
just trying
more
to be
as
a
confidence,
yeah.
and that's her confidence and makes her so attractive on the level that she is the champion. I cannot see her not being champion now just because of her personality, her work ethic. She's strong as shit. And she's like,
She's
it's just
freakishly strong.
super athletic. She is the total package, man. Now,
You know what I liked about this character finally, that they finally got away from it.
mm,
Remember when they debuted her and they had her doing all these like triathlon things, and
mm-hmm,
she kept doing, I'm the fastest, I am the bestest, I'm the
yeah,
strongest,
yeah,
and they kept using all of that, and they kept showing her doing this. Then they made her do that stupid triathlon thing, and I think it was on Raw or something like that, or
yeah.
SmackDown.
I remember
And
it
I
was
was
like
like,
a top of the
man, like,
field.
okay, I get she is an athletically gifted woman,
Mm,
strong, smart. She graduated college like in while she was in NXT.
awesome.
Um, she is. I think they jumped in this character and they went a little too hard with it. I think they could have let her showcase it. Like, you are the EST, then show
Hmm.
it in the ring.
Yeah,
Like, that's where
and
you
that's
show it.
with NXT and Triple H. I think that's what they did. They were just like, take it. This is you. You've been like this since you were young. So be the EST. Be the fastest. Be the strongest. Be the most confident. You're there. So just take it
Yeah,
and
I
roll
think.
with it. Her song, love it. Her entrance, love it. Her work ethic in the ring, or her ring presence, I love it. But to this match, ladies ladder match, got to give it to Bailey. She took a few shots to the mouth.
Oh my
Two face.
god, she took a hit like no.
She
I
took like
was.
three
I think she lost a
straight to the
tooth.
dome. Oh,
She lost a tooth, I think, because she was bleeding. I remember seeing she had blood coming down the side of her mouth.
yeah,
And at
I
first
thought
I
she
said, well,
just
maybe she hit
busted her
her.
mouth open.
And that's what I thought too. But then somebody who was watching said, no, I think she spat a tooth out.
Mmm.
I was like,
Oh,
what?
dentist time. We got to get them veneers.
Listen, Asuka got her teeth fixed from somebody. I'm sure they can get this one fixed.
I'm trying to figure out who's the doctor, or who's the what's the company that Roman Reigns got his teeth in. Man, I'm trying. I got some pearly whites. I'm good, but he has immaculate teeth.
That
I
was
want.
when he every time he smiles, they do the same thing.
I would love that. I don't care what the price is. I'm good.
I'll go broke for that. I just have some straight teeth. He made an emphasis too when he came back with those pearly whites. Everything.
Look at me. Yeah, but man, to the ladder match, there's so many spots, tall ass ladder. It's showcasing what I love to see is Bianca Belair's strength. This one, Bailey at one point was climbing the ladder. She put the ladder on top of Bianca Belair, and she can't move. And she's climbing the ladder to go get the championship. And Bianca just grabs the ladder and bench presses. It's like more than 15-foot ladder with
I'm sure it weighs a ton. Even sitting
with
flat back like
Bailey.
that.
I'm not sure how much Bailey weighs, but with Bailey on top of the ladder, like on top of the ladder, she was almost touching the belt, and she
Hmm.
just boop. it it
Bailey
was
had a drop. If you notice
effortless.
that she got so scared of that moment, she dropped like a couple steps down
There was
and took
nothing
the bump.
if she fell out the ring, there was nothing to break her fall. I thought they would do like a table or two on the outside or something like that. There was nothing out there, so she
No,
actually
I think it was just damage control was on the outside and they
hmm,
probably could have caught her, but that's a chance you take.
20-foot drop for two
Oh,
two ladies to catch you. That's a trust fall
yeah,
if I've
like
ever
Io
seen
Shirai, I don't know if she would have caught her.
one. She was squashed Dakota. Oh man, that's anybody would have been Scott. I'm not catching you.
I would
20-foot fall. I would have pulled a Samoa Joe just nah.
not not my
Just walk out
problem.
the way. Oh man. But fantastic.
ain't
Yeah,
no, I was saying,
fantastic
I ain't
match.
catching you either. And yes, a very fantastic match.
Fantastic match. Bianca Belair with the win to retain her title. I can't see it any other way. I would love to see a build of Montez Ford as a singles competitor, even though the Street Profits are awesome. I don't want to see any tag teams broken up. But if they have plans for him doing a singles run, put the Raw Championship on him, and they have a power couple kind of thing. Because he is super athletic, and he always puts on the show every single match.
I feel like
And
they
then
can
she
do
does the
something
exact same.
with the three of them as a trio kind of thing.
Ah, that'd be
Still
cool.
keep them doing their own thing, but keep them as like a trio.
Yeah, so they have
Um,
the tag team titles, and then she's the Raw Women's. That'd be cool.
yeah, because especially because if you're gonna go up against the bloodline and all that,
Yeah.
that would be good to see. I would love to for the bloodline to bring in a Naomi or Tamina. I know Tamina's a little bit older to do all the run like this, but
Mm,
I wouldn't be attest to seeing that.
mm,
Um, or you bring in Naomi and Sasha,
mm,
and then Bianca gets her tag team partner, and you
mm.
run it that way, where it's the Bloodline versus um, Street
Street
Profits,
Profits.
and then you have Belair and her whatever tag team partner they decide to go with, and Sasha and Naomi as part of the
Mm,
Bloodline.
that'd be cool. That'd be cool because we've been long awaiting them. But I think
If you
they're
can make
still
Sami Zayn an
holding
honorary
back.
Uso, you can make Sasha Banks an honorary Uso.
Sami Zayn. I don't really like Sami Zayn's character, but you gotta admit he is so funny.
He is just he's so
It was
talented.
it was Friday's episode of SmackDown, and he was making them break character in a backstage segment, and you're like, yo, this guy is hilarious,
I've always heard
man.
he was a nut in the back though.
But either way,
Um,
fantastic ladder match. Must see if you guys do have a we're not sponsored by them, but have Peacock watch Extreme Rules, man. You will not be disappointed. From match
those
to
first
match,
four matches alone, I needed a cigarette after that. I was like, boy,
it didn't let go. These matches didn't let go, and then the last two matches on the card, which is even more. It's like how tired and exhausted the audience must have been after this. It was fantastic.
I'm sure there was smoke breaks constantly. Baby, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get a smoke. Bitch, you don't smoke.
I do tonight. But
Onto a
next
match
one,
that yeah, I was just about to say onto a match that really brought. I needed a cigarette on this one. Was Edge versus Finn Balor in a I Quit match. Very iconic match. Anyone who's follows wrestling from the late '90s up until now, those I Quit matches could get brutal.
Yeah.
and I mean amazing matches.
And the
Um,
fun part of it is how do you take two one a legend to the ring with Edge, but then you have a veteran and a legend in his own right of the ring in Finn Balor,
and a
and
ring general.
in
I
the
think in
ring,
my
yeah.
opinion, he's a ring general too.
I really feel like he's definitely a leader of the locker room, and he knows how to command a match and make it safe, but make it look so awesome at the same time, man.
Yep.
But how do you create a match, an I quit match, which shows submission and weakness, but still pull it off for both of them to come out strong? And you had that last night when it comes to Finn Balor versus Edge. I quit match. They beat the living crap out of each other. Judgment Day
Got
that
involved,
got involved, and I think it was a Rhea Ripley. They were beating the crap out of Edge, or
handcuffed
and
him.
handcuffed him to the ring, and then Rey Mysterio comes down. Dominic beats the crap out of his dad, and
That
you have
was
all of oh my goodness.
it was a lot on that one, and just in that one alone, because I'm loving the storyline
Mm,
of Dominic resenting his father and so much.
I love it.
Because
Yeah.
it adds is adding to the this allure of him saying, okay, I'm getting away for a
Mm,
kid who was not brought up in the NXT like they a lot of people say he should have been.
he should have been,
Um,
but you can't. I think putting him next to his dad is much more rewarding than having him singles in NXT. It would have taken
yeah,
so much longer.
yeah, because I feel like there's so much more for his character to build. Seems like a very shy kid
Mm,
that is learning how to open up on the mic.
mm.
There's
It
just so
takes
much that you can see that it's building up to it.
mic skills take a while. I mean, how long did it take Roman Reigns to build his mic skills? And now
It's
he's
not
getting
an easy
better
talent.
fast.
There's very
Really,
few people who have a gift to the gab.
it's the helm of sports entertainment in the WWE. If you don't have mic skills, you better be good in the ring. You
And
know.
I think he's good. I don't think he's great in the ring. I don't
Hmm.
think
No, he does his thing. He does
he
his thing.
has
He
a
does
really
things I
good.
can't do, so he's great.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
and I think he needs to buff up a little bit. His body frame is just too.
I think yeah, yes and no, because with this
I'm not
new
saying he needs to gain like 20, 30 pounds of
no, no,
muscle.
no.
Just
Yeah,
tone it.
he doesn't have to look like Buddy Murphy or anything like that. But one, he's still
Tony
young.
Nese or anything like that. Yeah.
One, he's still young. Two, he's more of a luchador kind of feel to his moveset.
Yeah, but his body frame, it just looks weird. That's why he doesn't wear wrestle without that singlet that he wears
Right. And I think that's
because
because he's young, so he still has to get the skill. And then once you get the skill, you can morph your body around that skill. But give him time. I think give him time, and he'll be there. He'll
I don't know. I
definitely
feel
be
like Ray wasn't always massive. He was always a slender guy who can maneuver in the ring. So his frame worked for him. And then later on, because he was on steroids for a bit,
there. Mm,
he buffed up as much as he did. He was able to still do a lot of the movement, but
mm,
he was pretty massive. I
mm.
remember, if you
Very
remember
stocky.
the SmackDown versus Raw video games, he used to look pretty just wide
Yeah,
for no reason.
yeah. And I remember he came back on a few years ago. I think it was like 3, 4 years ago, to a and before AEW was a thing. It was like
Yeah.
they're all in, and he made a guest appearance there, and he was shredded. And you're like, yeah,
Yeah, because then
this,
he went from
oh,
looking massive to just clean, lean.
yeah, it's beautiful, very, 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 very beautiful. But fantastic match. Beth Phoenix made a surprise appearance there.
Yes, I love it. I loved it.
And that's setting up Rhea Ripley versus Beth Phoenix. If Beth Phoenix is cleared to wrestle with her neck in a singles match like that, that'd be wonderful. But you see that Edge is getting help now with the Judgment Day. So you
Yeah,
have
it's
Rey
showing that he
Mysterio.
needs one more character. He's gonna need one more wrestler to help him out, and I don't know who they're gonna go with. They obviously can't use Christian because he's still in AEW. So I'm
Well,
wondering
you
where they're gonna
never
go with
know.
this story.
You never know because I've heard interviews with Tony Khan, and I've even heard Triple H said it very recently. He was like, "It's whatever's best for business," which he's been chanting, for over a decade, is whatever's best for business.
Yeah,
Now that he's pretty a third in charge of what's best for business, I wouldn't see, like a trade off, like, hey, yeah, you could go over there for about a week or two. Hey, you come back and you could do this and then you
Yeah,
start
but I don't think so. I think Tony Khan has so
getting
much
into it. Yeah.
resentment towards WWE,
Well,
because
Tony
he
Khan said
feels.
it too. He said, I don't know if that's ever going to be on the horizon, but if the talks come through and the deal is something that's interesting enough, he's open for
Yeah,
it.
but like I said, like with the recent reports that Triple H was sending Bobby Fish in the back, that they so allegedly is saying that he sent Bobby Fish to the back of AEW to recruit. Um,
uh,
and I think that right now it's going to be a hard swing of that happening. It may, like you said, happen,
uh,
but I doubt it right now because they are competing
mm,
company that I right now they're gonna want to build their brand. They're not gonna want to build their brand and utilize somebody from a current WWE guy. Like Impact did that,
mm.
but it was because they WWE needed Rick.
Yes, 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 yes.
No, no,
Okay.
it doesn't always work out that way. So
No,
I
absolutely.
think I think if anything happens, it won't be for like 10 years from now, and that's even shooting, you know, in to the sky at that on that.
Mm. We'll
But
see.
I think definitely this match had a lot of great moments. There was a couple white rabbits shown
I
on.
know. Right at the beginning, like the first 5 minutes of the show, they were just like, what's up.
Yeah, it was like randomly you just saw a child wearing a white rabbit shirt that they weren't
Mhm.
selling before the
Yeah,
match.
yeah.
They had some of the
Fiend
just had.
masks.
Yep.
They have signs as the White Rabbit, Bray Wyatt, this and the other. Little no QR codes or anything because obviously you don't need them
He was gonna,
anymore.
yeah. It
But
was a lot of stuff that I don't know, man. I know that they've been hinting to not knowing what they're gonna do with it, with this white rabbit thing. I'm trying to see what's going on with it.
I think they know exactly what they're doing. But that's
Oh,
the
I know
good
they know
part.
exactly. They know, but we don't.
The thing is that when Vince was in charge, it was you kind of knew everything. You kind of knew
Yeah,
everything. Everything was going to happen. Everything was like 2 months ahead of time. It would change last minute if anything, and it would change in the wrong direction. But this, they're keeping things under wraps, so you don't know what's gonna go. You don't know what's gonna happen, man. This
they
is
throwing
what's
all
it.
these hints at something again that
Yeah,
so and so may be part of it. No, maybe this person may be part.
yeah.
No,
Well, Finn Balor versus Edge, man. Edge unfortunately had to lose, but it made him look sympathetic. It made him look like a good husband. They held him down, beat the crap out of him. Um, take the concerto from Rhea Ripley to Beth Phoenix, and he said, "No, no, 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 don't do that. I'll quit. I'll quit. Just don't hit my wife." And then they did it anyway.
no. The biggest
And it
sign of an
was,
FU is that,
I was like, "You got to be kidding me!"
and it
It's
doesn't just sell
beautiful.
a sympathy storyline. It sells that very, I don't know. It's just that grit because you're gonna. It's gonna bring up a different Beth Phoenix. Tell you that for sure.
Yeah,
And
different
then you're
Beth
gonna
Phoenix.
get an even darker edge. I feel.
Yes, yes, a more ferocious edge,
I'm
which
wondering
I
what's gonna
love.
happen with Rey Mysterio. I feel like the Rey Mysterio character may get minor revamp that he's pushing.
Who knows? Who knows?
You know how like Finn Balor has the demon. I wonder if they're gonna bring like
Mm,
El Demonio kind of thing
no.
for Rey.
Speaking of masks, I saw the Finn Balor's entrance with
Oh my
his mask.
god,
The
that
spike,
mask
though.
was bomb.
Now I don't know. They never said it, but I don't know if it has anything to do with it. It's kind of a coincidence. But the new Hellraiser came out. I believe it was either Friday or Saturday, and I
Oh, I
was
didn't know they were
watching
bringing
it.
out another one.
Yeah, watch it on Hulu, man. It's awesome. It's really, really good. So I don't know if he was paying like a homage to that, like if he was like a big movie buff, and he was just like, because it felt weird. You're wearing this very out of place, but it looks great on him, but it's very out of place
Kanye
mask.
West mask.
Yeah, and somebody had said that it was like a Kanye West mask. I was like, no, that's Pinhead, and Pinhead just
Well,
came
Kanye
out.
West has worn that type of mask. Like he's worn the exact mask out in
Oh, okay.
public because
Oh,
he's just
okay.
weird like that. He just does it so he doesn't people won't see him.
I don't. follow rap like that, but sure. So I'll take your word for it that he's crazy as cat shit.
Yeah, crazier than catnip.
But it is, man. One wonderful match. I'm trying to see what they're gonna do with it going forward. Definitely a
Strong
lot for
build up.
Edge. Yeah, definitely putting the ball in the Judgment Day's court because there was a little time there which needed to time to build, but Judgment Day kind of felt irrelevant for a second since Edge had left. But now they're holding their own and they're building and
Uh,
they're making a purpose, and it's just like we didn't need Edge. We are the Judgment Day, and we're going to show you that each of us individually have our own traits, have our own strengths, and we're going to beat the crap out of Edge. They don't need him to grow, but this feud would help them grow in a sense of having
mm-hmm.
Edge there to kind of guide them through it. It's lovely. It's a very good turn of events, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Um,
Next.
ne-
No.
next next match we're gonna talk about. This one was another. I mean, what a great way to end the night with this one.
Yeah.
As far as matches were
Mhm.
concerned, this
Mhm.
match had banger after banger moment. Um,
Fight
I
pit.
the fight pit between Matt Riddle, who's wrestled in this match in NXT, and Seth
Mm.
Rollins, who's never seen this type of match before. Um, it was amazing look to it. Uh, I mean, they were doing things like NFL Street 2 type of moves. You had Matt Riddle jumping off the cage with one foot on the
Yes.
cage, jump off, and then hit a kick.
Yeah.
Um, the moonsault that he did, the corkscrew that he did off
Yeah.
the top, it sounded like the way his body just fell. It was
Yeah.
just
It
no
was
wonder.
it was more like a like a almost like a Samoan drop without it. It was like who used to do that? They would just kind of like run and fall their back just like right
And
on
most of the
top of
big
you.
guys do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like Bray
But he
Wyatt used
did
to
it
do it, and
from the
Samoa Joe does it.
top of this cage, and I think he broke his ass. It looked like he broke his ass because it hurt me. Because he just like he landed and you just see his face like that was a bad idea, and he's just screaming. You can't. You got
Now
to
I
be
know
a
why he
really
smokes a
good
lot of weed.
actor. You got to be a really good actor to scream like that without being in pain. He was in pain.
Yeah, yeah.
Something
There's no
happened.
way he landed on that, and
I think he broke
Seth
his
Rollins looked like
coccyx.
he nothing was wrong with it. It
Yeah,
hurt, but it was like, oh, like he just took a regular splash.
yeah. He just rolled over.
Yeah, Matt Riddle turned
He's
around and
like,
said, "Motherfucker,"
it's like I'm retiring. This is a bad idea.
today.
Yeah, today, right now, this very second.
I think DC Daniel Cormier was the
Then they
special
told me
guest
it was the
referee,
referee.
and he was even like, "Oh my god!" Like he didn't know whether to throw the X up and say bring somebody, or
He was like, "What's wrong with these people?"
he's
I
like,
do
I've
like
seen some craziness, but geez,
I do like how they showed that it is a fight pit in the middle of a UFC fight. You do kind of lose your head in the middle of a MMA fight. I used to spar and compete in mixed martial arts and kickboxing, but you lose in a sparring match or even a regular match. You lose your head a little bit, so you're just kind of like in the moment of that fight. I like how they made that depiction with Daniel Cormier. He had
yeah,
to control them. He's like, "You're not here to fight me. You're fighting him. Do not touch me." And I remember my sensei used to say like that. He's like, "Whoa, watch your punches. I'm getting close, but don't you hit me. And you don't want sensei kicking your ass." So it's just
it
like
changed
man,
the whole ring up.
oh yeah, you pay double that month. Like, like man. But fantastic match. You definitely see that Matt Riddle still has his background when it comes to mixed martial arts. They tried like a bit
Hundred
of
percent.
a feeling each other out to try to had that UFC feel at the beginning of the match, and then they had to change pace because Seth Rollins couldn't keep up with
I think Seth Rollins looked like this most of the match.
him. and then and then Matt Riddle broke his ass, and he was like, "All right, this is my opportunity." But Matt Riddle with the win on
Great
this
win
one.
for him.
Yes, he
And then
needed
this
it.
was I don't think this is over. I don't think
I hope not.
they're gonna end it with this.
I hope not.
Um,
It was very
they
emotional. It was
may
very
very well and
personal.
push it, but it got really personal.
Mhm.
When he went and mentioned the divorce that Matt Riddle's gone through, it was just I
Yeah,
was like,
you
well,
got to.
okay, he got serious.
Yeah, you can't see your kids, and you got to pay child support and all that. It's just like, he's really gonna mess him up. He's really gonna
Yeah,
beat that ass come Saturday.
yeah. So I
Crazy.
think that was a well written match. They
Yeah,
evolved the character of Matt Riddle.
yeah.
Yes, and then after that match, put that picture back up.
What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about? This
What
is what I'm
picture?
talking about.
What picture?
This had to be first off. Let me start off with that white rabbit. I'm pretty sure I killed it the other day. I think I hit that
No,
in the road
it's
because holy
roadkill.
crap,
A very stylish roadkill.
they're very stylish. Yeah, he has. I love the scarf on him.
Yes, I
Um,
think it's Versace.
the buzzard, Sister
Yes, with the whole
Abigail, Huskus, and the
and the
Fiend's
fiend.
characters. So when lights dropped, they started doing the White Rabbit song, and then all of a sudden
Yes,
you hear, "He's got the whole world
yeah.
in his hand." I was like, "Uh oh, here it goes."
You hear that very deep, kind of raspy voice. You see, like, these are clips from left to right, top to bottom, that were of what they were showing uh, throughout that segment. So they would go through the song, and then in one side of the arena, you would see the pig, and then you would see the buzzard. Then here comes the bunny on the other side. Here's the witch. Uh, then they cut to, was it Corey Graves
And
and
and Michael,
Michael Cole, and you see the burnt fiend mask on the commentary table, and they're scared as hell. And then it cuts for a little bit, and they play a song, and then it goes to the front of the audience, and the fiend is there, and you're like, oh boy, there's a fiend, and then it cuts out as black, and then you see this door, and oh man, the door. It looked like another realm. They went to the Firefly Funhouse,
which has been
and
abandoned. I love that
I
they
like
haven't
how
been
the
seen it in
attention to
about a year
detail.
or so.
There were cobwebs, everything was torn apart, the TV was broken, the windows were busted out, everything was just kind of falling
They had the
apart.
Sister Abigail puppet hanging on.
It was like they literally left the funhouse, and now we're back. But I don't think we're coming back to the funhouse. The funhouse is coming to us, because all of the characters have come to life, and WWE has put that on their YouTube. They had a little picture, and this is the picture that was there. It said that the Firefly Funhouse characters come to life, and I'm like, this is perfect. Now we need the right casting to who is going to be
Is
who.
each character.
Yes. Who's gonna be the bunny? Who's gonna be the buzzard? Who's gonna be the da, 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 da. Who's gonna play the fiend? Or is that gonna be
They
Wyndham's
may still keep
thing?
Bray. Well, I don't know if he's
That's
gonna
like
be
his
used
alter
as
ego.
Bray Wyatt, but they may still keep his alter ego as the Fiend.
Yeah,
And that'll be his Finn Balor demon change.
right. Which is really cool. And then they
Which,
get to,
to be fair, I don't know how they're gonna do it because I feel like they're actually even taking it one step further. He is bringing in the Wyndham Six, which he has trademarked
I've
and
heard.
copyrighted on his own. Because if
I've
you see at
heard.
the end of of the entrance,
Yeah, his logo.
when the show went off, the Wyndham Six logo goes up.
Man, I hope they
Um,
were selling them T-shirts after that event. Man, they were selling
oh,
like hotcakes.
I'm sure it popped up on the stands right as people were leaving. Like that wasn't there before the show.
Awesome, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Man.
It was
And
awesome
then,
to see this.
boom. Then we had Bray himself. He had a mask on. Didn't get a. It's in the shot from earlier. If you could see it,
Yeah, it's at
right
the bottom
here
right here.
at the bottom middle. If you could see it, it's almost kind of reminds me of like a Guy Fawkes kind of mask from the
Kinda.
V for Vendetta, but it differently does
It
this one.
definitely feeds into this role that he's not the White Rabbit. I think he is the puppeteer.
I think we were following the White Rabbit to get to this, which is awesome because it has a very
Yes.
Alice in Wonderland feel. Obviously, playing the song White Rabbit over and over again, that is an Alice in Wonderland based song, though. But I hated, and it was such a dark day. I remember us talking about it when Bray Wyatt was released on WWE, and it was just like, why? You're literally at the top of his game when it comes to the Fiend. You have
Well,
Alexa Bliss. You have all this stuff. Yes, the storylines may have not made sense sometimes, but that's bad storytelling. That's bad story writing, and that's Vince McMahon's fault for
so
not having
I actually
trust.
have a thing about this though, because when he got released, I kind of understood it.
Hmm.
They had the wrestling community had just lost Brody Lee, who was a very close and near
Rest
dear
in peace.
friend, let alone brother to
Hmm.
Bray Wyatt.
Right.
So he just lost one of his closest friends right now
Hmm.
in the wrestling world. He wasn't 100% well
Right.
in
No,
his
no,
mind.
no.
He was
At
dealing with a
all.
lot of mental issues. But when all that happening, he gained a ton of weight. So I don't know
Yeah.
if you remember when he came back as the Fiend, as the Burn Fiend, he looked heavier.
He did.
This was like, wait a second, why are
Yeah,
you
because
so
he was.
heavy?
Yeah.
And he had lost a ton of weight. Remember, if you remember when he came back as the initial Firefly Funhouse, he
Hmm.
had lost a ton of weight. But seeing what he did with oh, there's Snaggletooth running in on the telecast.
Let me in.
But I think WWE tried their best to see, hey, I get what happened. We understand it. We gave you your time. We need you to lose the weight again. It's
Yeah.
not healthy, and it just doesn't fit the character anymore. Like your weight, you need to find a way to lose it, and he couldn't. I
Yeah.
think he tried his best, and he just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I think he was still dealing with a lot of stuff mentally. He wasn't checked in yet.
Yeah. He wasn't there.
Um, I think in my opinion, and maybe it was WWE's fault of bringing him back too soon. I think they brought him back just too soon because they needed him for Mania.
Right.
Um,
But I feel like they needed him and didn't need him because Vince's booking is just like ridiculous. It's just like you have the Fiend who's supposed to be an unstoppable force, and you're having him lose left and right to like Goldberg. And it's like, huh?
I think
It's like,
that killed his character. That
yeah,
character, because I get that there was a contract. Goldberg was supposed to have a title shot,
yeah,
and win it,
basically,
but they could have done it a very different way. They could have
yeah,
added another. They could have had Fiend losing another character and let that person lose to Goldberg, because
right,
it took away from the Fiend's allure. You
yeah,
can find a way to make the Fiend lose and make it feel okay. He's gonna cut. Undertaker took L's left and right. It wasn't like he was unstoppable only in
right.
WrestleMania. I mean, this guy he won a lot of play games or matches, and he lost a lot of matches. He lost the title multiple times. He's what, a 6-time champion. That
Hmm.
means he lost it that many times.
And yeah, I'm looking at the comments here, and Miguel has a good point here. He said, "Do you guys think that Bray overshadowed the pay per view?" I'm gonna post here and say
Mm,
yes, yes, but no. And this is my take on it. The whole night we've been waiting for that. Nobody gave a damn about anything else. It was a great pay per view,
great pay per
but
view.
nobody gave a damn about anything else but seeing Bray Wyatt, and that is the fans' fault, but also their rejoice because this whole White Rabbit thing. They've never said Bray Wyatt. They never said Roman. No Rotunda. They never said Wyatt anything. They never said the Fiend. They never said the people were looking for that. They were hoping for that, and the darkness and the etch of it, the lore, as you said earlier, is like it only fit Bray Wyatt. You know,
Yeah,
there's a guy in NXT called Gacy, and it's like, yeah, he has that kind of edge, but it's not there. It's not to that level. He's more of a controversial character. So if you were planning all of this White Rabbit stuff and all these, QR codes and the Firefly Funhouse and this and that and all these little segments and Alexa Bliss and is that a buzzard? Oh, is this? Is it that? Is it that? Oh, look at the look at you follow the White Rabbit, and it didn't pay off with Bray Wyatt at the end. It would have fell flat on his face if they didn't have him come last
So I
night.
think
Every
I
show
think in that
was.
aspect,
Mm,
then you answered the question wrong. I think then yes, he
mm.
did. He did overshadow the pay per view. Did it
No,
take away
well,
from anything that the
right,
wrestlers did? No.
right.
But I think that everybody were so engulfed in this is the idea that we're gonna see Bray Wyatt tonight. They
Right.
kept mentioning it every week. There was another clue that Bray Wyatt was coming. Every week
Mm,
there was another clue that he was gonna make an appearance on both
mm,
Raw and SmackDown.
right.
And
And the reason why I said yes but no is because every match was phenomenal. So even if he didn't show up, it would have been disappointing, but you would have been like, well, he didn't show up. I'm disappointed about that, but it was a great show.
yeah, but you know what
It was the icing on this cake. It was the
I think
cherry on top, him being there.
what what his return did, and I think
Right.
the build up to this return, every match that occurred, the White Rabbit had some type of interruption earlier in other episodes.
Yeah.
Raw had a couple times where there was a static
Mm-hmm.
and Riddle was on TV.
Mm,
Then the QR code would pop up when Belair was on there, and
mm,
every hint that was being thrown out there was around these wrestlers, and maybe it's going to involve them, maybe it's not. And one time, one of the codes pulled out Gacy's name even.
yeah.
So I think there was a lot of buildup that you're going to see Bray tonight.
Mm,
And then the final clue that came out on this Friday
mm,
before the show, it's you started hearing, "Let me in, let me in,
mm.
let me in." So now at this point, you're like, "Okay, it's Bray."
Yeah, it has to be Bray.
So I think everybody was expecting Bray. I think every match I thought Bray was gonna come out. I kept saying it almost every. So this is where he's gonna come out.
Yep, this
Okay,
is him.
maybe not. Oh, then
Yep.
maybe this was. Oh no.
I like the way they did it because they didn't put him in a feud or interrupt any storylines. He is his own thing. And come Monday or Friday, wherever they're gonna put him,
He may appear
they
on both, like what Braun's been doing.
yeah. So that would be smart. But it was just like he is his own thing. And they have a storyline. They have a path for what they're gonna do with him. They even hired a writer who's a director who was going to make a Bray Wyatt Fiend movie, and who is a horror director and he's very versatile. It's not just horror, but he's done
He specializes in horror.
he specializes in scaring the crap out of you. So it was just like to hire somebody like that to write the storyline of Bray Wyatt being back and then seeing the way that he came back last night, and
Very
it
movie
came.
esque.
Yes. Very well put together. Wasn't over the top. It was very simple. When you think about it, there's a couple of people in the crowd, there's a door, you see them, end the story. It's just
It
the
it was that
cinematography.
slow build up
Yes.
to it. The he's got the
Yeah.
whole world. It's very slow, slowly saying. The moment that you see him pop up, every time I was like, "Oh my
Right.
god!" It's just it hit that like very creepy movie, and what a time to do it.
What a
Okay,
time to do it.
it's October. It is
Yes.
Halloween month. If you're gonna
Perfect.
do it, you go the creepiest way about it, and what a
Perfect.
character to do it with.
Yeah. Very much
Because then he
perfect.
came out very old school with the lantern and him blowing it out. It was just perfect.
Yeah, I feel it's a complete revamp, but a continuation at the same time. I love the direction. Thank you, Uncle Paul. Uncle, thank you, Uncle Triple H, because it's been a full speed ahead with the bloodline, with Bray Wyatt, with people coming back like Karrion Cross and Braun Strowman, and we're the long-awaited return of Naomi and Sasha Banks when they return, because it's a question of when at this point, and it's going
Yeah.
to be huge when they do. But they have so much on the plate right now that them coming back feels like it would be almost out of place. So they got to finish up a few storylines and then bring them back. It
Yep.
would be perfect.
I think
But
they're gonna bring him back like a very CM Punk esque
yeah,
storyline,
it's like the
and they're
worst
gonna
kept
come
secret.
back holding the titles.
Yeah, the worst kept secret. Like we never lost, and I don't know who this damage control people are, but yeah, or whoever the tag team champions are at that point. I think they should keep it on damage control because they're really hot right now.
Yeah.
and that would be a very good storyline,
And
especially
they're
with
so
Bailey
hot
at the
that when they lead up into the storyline where Sasha Banks and Naomi come back as the tag team champions, like I keep saying it, mark my words, put it in writing today.
Mm,
I said this. They are gonna come back as tag team champions and they are going to build this up like a very CM Punk storyline. And I think this way they're gonna even do even better than what Punk did.
yeah, and I've said it time and time again when we talked to your little brother Jay, Jay Xavier from JPW and whatnot, and our other friends who are into wrestling. This is just, I don't care who and where they are. You could be in JPW, JPW, you could be in AEW, you could be in WWE, you can be in New Japan Wrestling. AEW has acquired ROH. I don't care where these wrestlers are. It is a fantastic time to be a wrestling fan because no matter
What a
where
time
they,
to be alive.
what a time to be a wrestling fan, man. Because it wasn't a situation like it used to be like, oh, WWE this. Oh, it's a jump ship because of Vince McMahon and this crap. Or, it just, you don't have much creative control. Or, there's false promises or is this. And WWE's not all bad. Vince McMahon wasn't all bad, but he was a little out of touch. And then you go to AEW, it's like, oh, AEW. A lot of creative control, but there's no direction. And then they got
Creative
to
control. What is that?
yeah, yeah, like I control your creative. Like, so it's like, but right now it's just like everybody's just feeling themselves out. WWE is on a high right now because it's NXT on steroids, and it's like AEW is going through this paradigm shift where it's just like, okay, we don't need who we thought we needed, and we need more than we thought we didn't. We need to fine tune the back. We need writers. We need direction, but we don't need CM Punk. We don't need the Young Bucks. Right now, we would love Kenny Omega, but we have MJF. We got Hangman Page. We got guys like that are
You know
there.
what's
And
funny? Because you said we don't need CM Punk stuff,
mm,
right? You notice the CM Punk chants have just died
yeah,
since
because you know why? Because and not to get this is a
because he showed his
WWE
ass.
yeah, this is a WWE video, but to touch the CM Punk for a second, he showed his ass, and it's just like you are supposed to be who we thought you were, and we were so happy to get you back, and you went on this tangent about the younger crowd, and I want to wrestle the younger crowd. Thank you, and I want to be there for the future and this that and the other. But at the end of the day, it was just like we don't know what happened in the background of what was being said. But how many times can he put somebody at the face of a company, put him in every top match, and put the title on him, and he's still not satisfied?
Whining.
Get out of here. We don't need you. If you're gonna be a child about it, get out of here. And that's so disrespectful to AEW. It's so disrespectful to the
To wrestling
fans,
in general.
to wrestling, to the fans. And it's almost like Triple H said, "I told you so," because he did say years ago he is not the one to work with, and he used his real name. He was like, "Phil is difficult, if not impossible, to work with. What do you
Yeah.
want? I'll give you whatever you want. Do you want ice cream popsicles or whatever the hell? You want this? You want the title? What do you want?" And you're still not satisfied. Okay, leave. AEW, well, he's great. I love CM Punk. I love the way that they put him back, brought him back. But don't show your ass, man. You're
He
supposed to
showed
be
his
here for
ass
the
too much.
people, and you were very selfish, and you got fired. It seems because I wouldn't bring him back for what?
Mutual breaking. Yeah.
You got fired, bro.
Anyways,
Anyway, Extreme Rules, Saturday, October 8th, last night. Beautiful. It was fun. Even my wife liked it, and she does not watch wrestling like that. And it was just like this wonderful, wonderful show. Um, I can't wait to see what they do with the bigger shows like Survivor Series.
yeah,
Lord
that's the
and
next big show, and then after that, Royal Rumble, and then
yeah, can't wait for
so
ooh.
we
Well,
have a lot of ways to go, but there's a
the
lot of stories to start talking about.
the big rumor for Royal Rumble is going to be Cody Rhodes coming back. Let's
Yeah,
see if he's
let's see
going
a
to be.
Cody versus Bray Wyatt as champion. That'll be a lot to work with.
Yeah. I just want to see what they do with this bloodline stuff. But anyway, what did you guys think about it? Did you see Extreme Rules? If not, go order it. Go get Peacock. Peacock's what, $10 a month or something like that. And as Miguel Cronjo is going to be, yes, it is going to be a must see because usually, as I said from earlier, Vince kind of it's like a throwaway, and I think with Triple H, he's going to make it relevant. It's going to be a story builder. I don't think you're going to see any titles change. I don't think you're going to see anything big happen.
You may, as a swerve, it's one title may change in this whole thing, but
it's
for the most part, it may be it may just very well be just a story build up for Survivor Series.
It's Uncle Paul. You never know what the hell Triple H has up his ass. He has sleeves that are longer than Gandalf's. He's just
get out. Get out.
So, that's all I got for today. My final thoughts on it is just huge payoff with the Bray Wyatt coming back. Definitely a wonderful event with the Extreme Rules. Congratulations to Bianca Belair for retaining. Congratulations to the champions of it. Says congratulations to our new women's champion with Ronda Rousey. Fantastic. That's gonna be awesome. But I can't wait. Wrestling. What's your take, man?
Man, I think my final thoughts are it was amazing matches all around. I literally not a single match was a letdown. I think they delivered everything and then some to it. It was the first time in a long time I felt exciting to watch a wrestling match, a wrestling pay-per-view from WWE, because I felt like it was well written. They committed, and this is what commitment, the year of commitment. We've been saying it off screen all the time. This is commitment right here. And this is what you would see and what you would want to see in a wrestling show is that if you fuck up, but just commit to it and change it at the end of it and go to the next part of it. I think they've committed a lot of time to this wrestling show, and the stories look beautiful. The wrestlers look even better because of it. This was a great pay-per-view. If you guys have not seen it, get on Peacock, watch the rewatch of it. Every bit of it was amazing.
Awesome. I'm gonna watch it right now, actually. Let's see what the wife has to do. We got this Sunday's day, not even date night, it's day. But we'll see if I can squeeze
a date.
Just squeeze some Extreme Rules in there somewhere. But anyway, guys, let us know in the comment section what you guys want us to talk about. There's a couple of things that passed that we hadn't been able to talk about. Unfortunately, I had been sick. I have a very, very, very crappy immune system. Felix has known me for 16 years. He knows I get sick like pretty much every month, every 2 months or so. I'm sorry for my absence. I'm just a bubble boy. So I will be here next week, rain or shine, sniffles or not. I'm gonna keep on keeping on because guys like you, thank you, Miguel, for your comments. Victor tunes in. I know Anise and Mom tune in. I know I remember from last night. Juan said that he watches our videos. We greatly appreciate it. This to us is just I'm talking to my best friend. This is my best friend in the whole wide world. And just talking shit and just shooting ideas. We just happen to put it on video. So we're very grateful that you guys tune into this and support us on this, and hopefully in the next few years to come, when we keep doing this, we get bigger and bigger and take it somewhere special. This is a very special moment for me. So I greatly appreciate it, guys.
I'd love to see more of you guys talk to us. Shoot us some comments here, like Robbie said. This is a great time, great conversation to have with my best friend, known him for so many years. So guys, like us on the channel here, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, like I always say. Until then, talk to you guys next time.
Peace.
Wow, this is the thrill. Welcome to the thrill. Giving you something that's real. Tell me how you really feel. Now that you're hearing the thrill, I was all on my own.